Hi guys, I'm on my way to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to the University of Alabama to start my summer internship. It is called the ARTSI REU summer program, and I'll be working in the robotics laboratory at the University of Alabama under the guidance of Dr. Monica Anderson. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really excited about this. I know I'll be learning a lot, and just really want to soak up what the next 7 weeks is gonna have in store for me. Here we are in the quad at the front of the University of Alabama. Let's take a quick look around campus. Stayed at Ridgecrest West, which is a dorm building on the University of Alabama's campus, built in 2009. A very nice facility, very comfortable there. Let's take a quick look at the dorm rooms. We're now in the dormitories where I'll be staying. I'm just going to show you around. We're going to start here in the living room. This is a hallway leading to all the bedrooms. There are 4 rooms per suite, and there are 2 bathrooms. Childhood, I've had a great fascination for aviation, and I also was very interested in unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, and this internship gave me a great opportunity to work on UAV. In this case, we worked on the Parrot AR drone, and we basically exploited the capabilities of this drone. It has a forward-facing camera and a downward-facing camera. And basically what I did was doing landmark-based localization using AR tags. Most of the stuff that I did was on ROS, which is a robot operating system. Before I got to this internship, I had never used ROS, and this internship gave me a great opportunity to learn ROS's capabilities and to learn its functionalities. I also had a great opportunity to work with Brianna Wellman, who's a PhD student. She was conducting she needed some help conducting some experiments for her dissertations, and she was able to use the AR tag stuff that I was working on the drone and apply the same concept and the same hardware with some minor changes to her experiments. In her case, she used a ground-based robot, which is this one right here. It's called the Koala, and we actually mounted a PlayStation 3 camera on the ground-based unit to be able to detect AR tags. My fellow REU colleague from Morgan State, Jason Carter, he was working on GPS stuff. So if you can see some of the hardware here, again he was using ROS to do GPS stuff on for the Koala. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a problem. The problem that we eventually encountered was the error in GPS. There was like I believe a 10-foot error in the exact position of the koala when you get longitude and latitude from the GPS unit. This is unacceptable for Brianna's experiments because she needed to know exactly where she was. So the AR tags provided a great backup to get localization data. Alright, Brianna, so what is your PhD about?
Cooperation paradigms that overcome communication limitations. And basically, I'm comparing when robots use messages to cooperate to when they use observation to cooperate. Because messages, sometimes you get delayed between messages, and robots don't get the message in time, so there's a degradation in team performance. Another approach I've used is using rendezvous, where robots search, or sector search with rendezvous, when robots search in designated areas and they periodically meet to exchange messages.
So what is an application for what you're trying to do?
So the application for my research is basically robots explore or cover an unknown area. And an example application of that would be exploring an abandoned building for a small child, where the area is not known. So that's what frontier-based exploration helps with, because it just expands on the frontiers that it already knows until it can't go any farther.
We're now going to take a look at Dr. Anderson's robotics lab. Let's check it out.
In the distributed autonomy lab, what we really try to focus on here is, well, there's two pieces to it. The first is the idea that you want robots to act alone, intelligently, in situations that you can't necessarily know ahead of time, but in a manner that doesn't make people nervous, right? I had somebody tell me once, well, the cameras moved and did this, but we couldn't quite understand why they did that, so we turned it off. And ideally, research isn't very useful if nobody uses it at some point. And so part of what we do here is try to, get the robots to cooperate or act intelligently, but to do it within a framework that people understand. Other things that we do have to do with allowing lay people or non-academics or non-computer scientists to program robots. And that's not particularly easy, because there's a lot of things that go into programming robots. There's certainly this idea of timing. There's certainly this hardware and the hardware interfaces. Every sensor works a little bit different, even if they supply similar information. And then just the coding that goes on top of all of that. All the algorithms are pretty complex. So we've taken a look at some visual environments that allow us to program the robots, and done some testing and some user interface studies. And we're constantly kind of pushing, trying to figure out other ways in order for people to be able to program robots without having to be an expert in robotics. ARTSI stands for Advancing Robotics Technology for Societal Impact. And the idea is that not only is robotics important in its own right, but it's also good to allow students to get exposed to robotics, because for one, it has a lot to do with the real world problem. And a lot of students like the idea of working on something that's going to change their own community or the world or help other people. The other idea is that robotics has as part of it, some very fundamentally important skill sets. It exposes students to embedded systems, to real-time systems, to different operating systems other than Windows, to hardware. And so the skills that you learn using robotics or using robots is useful for students in all the other areas of computer science. And so with that in mind, we decided that we wanted to use robotics to attract students, but also to move them up the learning curve. We do that in a lot of ways. We work with high school students, we do a lot of outreach, and we're designing a workshop in a box so that people who don't have a lot of experience with robots can actually expose middle school students and high school students to robots, so they get that, wow, this is cool and not nearly as hard as I thought it was. Idea. We also work with undergraduate students, and we've really targeted HBCUs, but in their freshman and sophomore years, helping them to get stronger programming skills, stronger operating skills, so that when they get to be junior and seniors or upperclassmen, they can come to research institutions like the University of Alabama and do research experiences. And this is where you actually get to get some context on some of the real world problems, or why research is on the door. The problems that we work on are not hard and fast. You chip away at them. Sometimes you have revelations, sometimes you're just chipping, but it's the experience that the students get coming in to be able to be part of a larger team and to learn and to contribute.
On the afternoon of April 27th of this year, an EF4 tornado rolled through Tuscaloosa. I think like 43 people lost their lives in the tornado, including 3 students from the University of Alabama. I mean, one thing you cannot ignore in Tuscaloosa when you're driving is the destruction caused by that tornado. Everywhere you drive, you just see some of the destruction, and it's just unbelievable. I've never seen, such destruction in my life. I mean, on TV, the reporters show up at these tornado sites and say, it looks like a bomb went off, and it really does look like that. I mean, just entire neighborhoods just annihilated, just rubble everywhere, mangled cars. It's pretty devastating. So let's just gonna show you guys a quick look at some of the devastation here in Tuscaloosa. Thanks guys for watching my video. I just want to thank Dr. Monica Anderson for giving me the opportunity to do the REU here at the University of Alabama. I also want to thank Professor Manning from UDC. Thanks for this opportunity and recommending me for this REU. I just think the ARTSI REU is just a great program. It really exposes students to research experience, and it'll definitely be helpful for grad school. I've learned so much this summer that's going to be of help to me at grad school. So thank you, and thank you also to Brianna Wellman, Shamika Dawson, and Chris Crawford. Thanks to my roommate, Jason Carter, my fellow REU from Morgan State in Baltimore. Thanks for being a great roommate this summer. I really appreciate it. Thanks for putting up with me for the short 7 weeks that I was here. It's been great. I learned a lot. Thanks for showing me the ropes, showing me around. It's been great. Thank you guys. Thanks again for watching my video, and take care.